What's going on YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka vypermajik, and today I want to talk to you guys about Diablo 3. In the background, I'm playing another hack and slash game, Dynasty Warriors 8 Free Alliance Edition, which I picked up on the PlayStation 4. It's obviously the free-to-play version of the game. If you don't have it, I highly recommend you get it because I can promise you, you will have fun with this game. Whether you're using this dude that's got a machine gun on his arm, or the dude who uses a canoe as a weapon, or the woman who plays the flute that explodes and these poisonous bubbles come out, you're going to have a fun time with this game, so check it out. But what I wanted to talk about was my entrance back into Diablo 3. I just logged in, actually earlier tonight, for day one of Season 3. Now, what is different about the game is almost too much to mention. I can't go through all the skills because they're very, very different. But Season Mode opened up today, and it's a clean slate. I decided to play as a Crusader, only because I never really gave him a fair shot when I played back in Reaper of Souls, because I was so enamored with my Barbarian at the time, which I still am, by the way. But I decided I'd go back to the Crusader and try him one more time. Luckily, I had a group of 3 other friends playing with me, so I have a monk in my group, I have a demon hunter in my group, and I have a witch doctor in my group. And together we were tearing through things like you would not believe. And it was a lot of fun. The Crusader, even though he has a shield, a lot of his attacks are ranged or stun type abilities, which is kind of different because you would think a dude that looks like a tank and walks like a tank and has a shield that, looks like it could take some serious damage. He's really kind of meant for medium range, and I noticed that I actually stood behind the monk more than the monk stood behind me. Now, as I mentioned, when we first started playing, we were just going gangbusters on stuff, and we were basically wrecking things. And when we got to the Skeleton King, and we beat the dude in probably about 15 or so seconds, that's when we realized we probably need to do ourselves a favor and bump up the difficulty at least a little bit so we can try to get some challenge out of the game, because early on we were not in any threat whatsoever. So we agreed to play the game over at that point. We were level maybe 12 or 13 at that time. And we decided to go through and start it over on Torment 1. And that is when the real fun began. So all the enemies got 1 modifier with them, which is pretty standard in Diablo in terms of what you can expect modifiers. But not only were the modifiers something that were very different to handle, but the actual damage that the enemies did and the amount of health that they had is where things got really hairy. And I have to say, honestly, this is the first time in a Diablo game since the original vanilla Diablo 3 on Inferno difficulty that we actually have to strategize or we would die. And it was very interesting to me how that mechanic came into play, because you don't really think of Diablo in a traditional game as like a healer or a tank or anything like that, because everyone is just kind of getting in there and swinging like crazy. Now, I did mention, and it is true, the monk did pretty much take the front line, only because he had the ability to soak up a lot more damage than we did, because even as a Crusader, I didn't really have the defense I felt like I should. But yeah, we kind of had to focus fire enemies down, which is something that was very different. And if we did not, we were getting swarmed. I can say that since I played the game last, which was probably about 2 or 3 months after the Reaper of Souls expansion came out, the density on just the overall mob density was drastically increased. And we were just getting inhaled, very similar to what you're seeing on Dynasty Warriors, where I'm just running into a pack of enemies. It was very similar to that on Diablo. The exception was we were not knocking them down nearly as fast as I'm doing here. We had to focus fire on certain guys, and that was something, like I said, that was very unique to me, and it made the game very different, and just by increasing it that slight amount. Now, we did roll through things for the most part pretty well. We did get into a little bit of a headache when we got around the Skeleton King in the darker depths of the lower depths of the cathedral, because the hallways were tight, and you have those enemies, and I can't remember the name of them, but the really big fat dudes that explode, and when they explode, all the worms come out of their guts. those guys in a chain reaction were messing us up. And because of the increased density, especially when you'd come across the champion pack of those guys, they would just swallow us up. And it was really a lot of fun. We did all get our free legendary when we beat the Skeleton King the first time, and we all got the crown. It was kind of odd that we all got it. I don't know if drops are fixed or what's going on, or it was just random RNG, but we all got the same crown. And then I was actually the first to strike gold with a just random legendary, and I got Squirtle's amulet, which is a really nice amulet for a Crusader. And that really helped me out a lot. That definitely boosted my output significantly, and I was able to switch back over to a more aggressive fighting style, because previously I was standing in the back and throwing hammers like a little bitch. So to get up in the front next to the monk and throw down was really cool. So I'm really glad I dived back into the game. I mean, obviously, I always told you I was getting a little burnt out on the Bloodborne game. Not that I don't like it or anything, but coming off of the grind that I had on Dark Souls 2 and jumping right into another really challenging game. I still play Destiny. We did the Nightfall the other night, so I need to go online later and take advantage of my experience and level up some of my new guns, which I'll do later. But it was nice to just jump into a game that I haven't played in a long time, and Diablo seems to be scratching that itch, at least for right now. I don't know how long I'll stay with it. I don't know if I'll get into the end game on season. I think all of us kind of agreed we weren't going to focus too much on leveling our blacksmith or artisan, because I don't know if we're going to even get to the end. I think the season lasts anywhere from 4 to 5 months, and I could be totally wrong. Always prepared as always. I have no idea when it ends, but we're mostly just focusing on getting just raw gear and proceeding through the content together as a team, and hopefully be able to snag up some of these new legendaries. So maybe we'll get lucky and find some cool stuff. I have seen Squirtle's amulet before, so that wasn't necessarily a new legendary to the season, but I'm hoping that maybe we'll find one and get to check it out. That'd be a lot of fun. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys a quick progress report on my Diablo 3 adventures. I will be posting some videos on them later, but I didn't feel like editing anything down, and I had this old Dynasty Warriors video, and I said, hey, another hack and slash game, so you can kind of relate to the experience we had in Diablo. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching all my videos. Please do me a favor and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know if you jumped into Season 3 on Diablo. What character are you playing with? What are your experiences with it? Is it a game that you put down like me and you decided that you needed to jump back into it? And if you haven't, I highly encourage you guys to go check it out, because Blizzard has done a lot to this game, and they've increased the polish and overall gameplay significantly, and I think you'll have a really fun time with it. As always, take care of yourselves, and until next time, I and Crazy Man running around in a circle with a big-ass gun under his left arm will see you guys on the other side.